Christiana, Head of Development, World of Warplanes. And Alexander Bogomolsky, World of Warplanes Community Manager. Thank you.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming from pretty much almost all around the world. Welcome to Belarus, welcome to Minsk, welcome to our 15-year anniversary press conference and of course the party. Thank you. It has been 15 years. The company, Wargaming.net, was started by literally a handful of enthusiasts from high school. We all loved games, we played games and wanted always to make games better, wanted to make, improve civilization, improve Warcraft, but then we realized you have to make it yourself. Like all the developers around the world, we wanted to make the best game of all times, and we started in 1998. Our first game, I will give you just a very quick historical tour, because we would rather have more time for Q&A, right, instead of the standard presentation. So I'll be very quick about our history, in a nutshell. GBA Online was a PvP turn-based, server-based game devoted to warfare, starting from the chariot age and up to medieval knights. It was a good game. It had 1,300 hand-painted units in it, but it did not bring us millions of dollars. We learned how to make games, we learned it the hard way, and we did not give up. So our next title was Massive Assault. That was our first attempt at mass market, because DBA Online was a very niche game. Okay, Massive Assault brought us some kind of recognition, connections, lots of experience, but it, of course, did not bring us millions of dollars. And we kept making games, other installments of Massive Assault Universe. Then we switched to real-time strategy, and our last game before World of Tanks was called Order of War. It's a beautiful game, very technological, with thousands of units running on the screen at the same time. But again, like previous 11 games, Order of War did not bring us much of a financial success, but we got experience. So approximately 5 years ago, we were, let's say, experienced enough, or lucky enough, smart enough to realize that probably the retail box business model was not going to survive for a long time. The whole world obviously was moving from retail to digital, from single player to massively multiplayer online. And yes, that was our, let's say, last chance. We concentrated in one focal point, all the resources we had, all the financial resources, all the people, all of our, again, karmic luck, if we had any, and burned all the bridges with old retail-oriented single-player projects, and decided to make an MMO. We don't want to compete, with World of Warcraft, obviously, or hundreds of other fantasy or medieval history MMOs, and we asked ourselves, okay, what do we do best? Yeah, we've done a lot of games about tanks. We love tanks, people love tanks. Let's make an MMO about tanks. How do we call it? World of Tanks. World of Tanks. And in August, like approximately approximately 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago, in August 13th, 2010, we ran out of money, but luckily the game was ready for the release. We launched it in Russia. Yes, we were lucky to have Mother Russia as our good neighbor, which happened to be a good market. We launched it, and the game exploded. We started to get thousands of people joining the game every day. Yes, we did some PR and advertising, but most of the people were coming through so-called word of mouth, and social media exploded. So, at that moment we were 120 people approximately, and it rolled out so fast that we had to put more servers, hire more people. We moved to Europe, established our operations, publishing operations in Western Europe, in America, and well, right now in just 3 years we transformed from a small, still enthusiastic group of old friends into global, transcontinental, cutthroat, blood-sucking corporation. So, what is Wargaming today? Just a couple of quick numbers. We are around 2,000 employees, and you will see 85% of them tonight at the party. They all shipped in here. Just a bunch of brave guys are standing back home, and there's some kinds of work you cannot leave behind. The rest of the company is here. We broke a lot of records, including the Guinness Book of Records twice. We have 65 million registered users for just one game, World of Tanks. We operate this game pretty much almost all around the world. We have zillions of awards, including from many of you, and of course we are very honored and we're very happy about this. Now we have 15 offices around the world. Just a quick enumeration: Minsk, Kiev, St. Petersburg, Paris, London. Our headquarters are in Nicosia, the island of love, Cyprus. In North America we have Seattle, Chicago. Hunt Valley is a part of Day One Studios doing the 360 version of World of Tanks. San Francisco operates North American market. We also rapidly moved to east part of the world. We have a great partner, Guangzhou, in China, but in China you have to have a partner. And we have our own operational centers in Tokyo, in Seoul, South Korea, in Singapore, covering Asia, Pacific, and Australia. And we have a development center for Big World platform in Sydney, Australia. But it used to be 15, not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now officially and exclusively announcing to you our development center number 16. Can you guess what is the best place in the Western Hemisphere to make games? It's going to be in the West. Good. That's probably the next one. Kate, can you please help me? Where is Kate? This is Kate, and she's coming up to the map. Any more guesses? Czech Republic is good, not that big. Finland. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Wargaming is coming to Austin, Texas. We already have a bunch of good people there working undercover. This is really great places like your Silicon Valley with the lifestyle and technology companies and traditions. So there we will have 3 major global divisions. Business intelligence, with that kind of traffic and people and the number of games we're making, we have to have rocket science, database, kind of business intelligence. That's going to be producing center. There will be people from the West who will live there and make our existing games better and come up with the ideas and concepts for our future projects. And, which is probably the most massive part of Austin presence, our global technology group. We have, just let me please explain so that you understand why this is good. We have Big World, which we used to license and then we purchased a company in Sydney, but that's not all we have. On top of Big World, World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, World of Warships teams and other teams, they created so much code on top of it, and now we're going to, the Xbox, and now we're going to mobile. This will allow us to, A, update our existing games faster, B, move to other platforms like consoles and mobile or whatever comes in the future. And also our updates will be released much faster because when you have a unified platform, we're not going to sell this platform, it's just internal platform, but for the amount of projects we have, you have to have it unified. There's one piece of news, and I really cannot hold it anymore. Yes, it was again in big secret, but today, exclusively, ladies and gentlemen, just for you, I officially pronounce that for World of Warplanes, in the addition to the Soviets, the Germans, Japanese, and American planes,
the British.
By the time of the release of World of Warplanes, which is pretty much around the corner, we are making, and they will be ready, British warplanes. Please have a look.
Yes.
Then there's one more new thing. Well, it's already been rumored and there's some materials on the web, but we had to finish the paperwork. This is so exciting for me because actually I was dreaming about this maybe even longer than 15 years, but as of now, Wargaming.net officially owns two great legendary franchises from the past. We just got them from Atari auction like 2 weeks ago. This is Total Annihilation and Master of Orion. It has been a bloody battle, like literally in the auction room, but we kind of got it. I understand that there's going to be questions, what exactly we're going to make. Well, here's the deal, auction, you never know if you get it or not. Okay, we knew we would, but there was fierce competition there. We got them. Now, our best people, including Chris Taylor himself, are strategizing, brainstorming. We're putting up front, we're putting ideas. Definitely, whatever we do, no matter what kind of game we make with those franchises, they're going to be, obviously, we will be making them as big AAA, legendary titles with all the power and might of Wargaming behind the production. But please give us more time. We're not yet clear how to start with these two great franchises. All right, I'm getting to the end of my small presentation, anticipating your questions very soon. It has been 15 years, very exciting 15 years. But you know what is going to be more exciting than the past 15 years? The next 15 years, exactly, the next 15 years. Yes, we started with a handful of enthusiastic youngsters. Now we're a big corporation across all continents, almost all continents. But I can assure you that we, as a company, are people who love games. Moreover, we love to make games. Yes, we're big and corporate, but it looks like, and you'll see it tonight, we managed to preserve this, this family, this passionate, this friendly approach to making games. We're games ourselves. We know what our players want, and we're giving all the best of ourselves to our projects, and through our projects to our players. The immediate future plans are very straightforward. So World of Warplanes is coming out with British Warplanes within, let's say, this fall. There is no exact date, but very, very soon. World of Warships are now undergoing certain, the next internal testing phase, friends and family style. I was in St. Petersburg a week ago. We played the game. Warships, they just look gorgeous, and the game is getting better and better. And I think year 2014, in many respects, will be the year of World of Warships. Our comrades in Chicago are finalizing World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition, and again, it's literally around the corner, a month or two, and it will be released. Right now, it's in open beta. Anyone can join and see what's going on there. We are also in the final stages of World of Tanks. When you say final stages, you understand that it's not yet determined, but the game is looking good. World of Tanks Blitz, that's for your tablet, that's for your iPhone and Google phone. We have World of Tanks Generals, that's a trading card game, which inherits all the beauty of tanks and World War II combat, but in addition to tanks, you would have special cards and boosters, which include infantry, airstrikes, and similar things. This is quite, let's say, original project. Yes, it's a trading card game, but it's about World War II, so we combined those two things. So I hope that this game, being turn-based, being accessible through the browser, through your mobile device, will dominate the turn-based world very soon. And we have a couple of smaller projects, some of them on prototyping stage, and we will make some announcements in the future. And when it comes to the next 15 years, or 20 years, or 30 years, the strategic direction, I think I'm ready to share with you the following. When you read a business book, there's always, it starts with you're building a business. First of all, you have to come up with your mission and your vision. And when I was reading what mission was and vision, vision is something which we want to present to the world. This is how we want to make the world better. And mission is how we do it internally, or maybe vice versa. So we decided that we have one. So we have mission/vision or vision/mission. It doesn't matter. The thing is that in what we do, how we view ourselves inside as a company, is immediately projected to outside. So whatever we make inside, this is what we present to the world. This is how we are changing the world. So please listen, because every word here is important. We deliver legendary online games globally with passion. Our employees already are undergoing this drill, so everybody in the company knows this. Let me please very, very quickly explain what everything means, and you will understand what Wargaming will be doing for the next 15, 20 years. Of course, that's us, as employees, and all of our departments, programmers, artists, PR people, community managers, esports specialists, we all work as one team, yes global, yes transcontinental, but tonight you will see that we are obviously and definitely one team. So together, Wargaming, publishing, developing, producing, distributing, it's all one company. That's us, that's we. Deliver. We say deliver instead of make or produce, because these kinds of games are not just games. You all know MMOs, good MMOs are, yes, it has to start with a game, but it's more of a service. We know our 65 million users, we know what they want. They want experience delivered to their screens or to their devices or to their consoles, to TV, plasma screens. They want experience delivered to them. And they don't care if we have, let's say, a publishing division or a production division. They don't care. They want, by Christmas, a new update for World of Tanks, They want esports championship, they want to go and see us at the trade show, they want to love the game they play, they want to bring their friends, they want to go and chat with their friends online, on Facebook, they want to post videos. So World of Tanks demonstrated that this kind of game, and of course we will carry this on to all of our future projects, this is not just a game, it's a game and a cultural phenomenon around it. So that's why we deliver. Legendary, the next word, legendary. Nobody wants to see B rating, great movie. Nobody wants to drive a car which is not Ferrari. I mean, which is not, cool. When it comes to entertainment, we understand that with the competition and the globalization, only the best of the best games and experiences around them will survive. We want, and this is what we're doing every day, we as a company want to deliver products, games, which will be compared with, works of Shakespeare, which will be compared to Star Wars, which will be compared to Titanic, Avatar. And that's exactly how we have to work inside. I'm always telling to my people and our managers to tell this to every employee, we have to make legendary games and experiences around them, so you have to be legendary. So every, let's say, artist or programmer, even an accountant, they have to be legendary inside Wargaming. That's our standard now. That's the only way to deliver legendary game and massively multiplayer online games. Globally, well, you can see the map. We produce our games globally. We publish them globally from New Zealand to San Francisco. And this is a big challenge for us, It's really not very easy to manage and maintain the connections in between 2,000 people spread around the world with different languages, time zones, cultures, religions. But, and we are very proud of that, and you will see this at the party as well, we kind of are on the success side of this challenge. We really work as one international family. We really have those, monitors in some offices showing other offices. And for me, as a businessman, it's really exciting that not only we make and deliver great games, but also we are building a great company, and if somebody like Harvard Business Review would love to write a book about us, they'll have some juicy material to create a good book. Of course, we're not looking for the book, but we are building this great global company with passion, absolutely obvious, inside and outside of the company. Gamers, true gamers, are passionate people. When you lose, you want to break your monitor. When you win, you celebrate. You bring your friends together. You go for championship. You put together your clan, your team, your platoon. If you're not passionate about the game, probably you won't play it. We're all gamers ourselves, and again, the only way to ignite that passion in our players so that they keep playing for years, so that they bring friends and play around the world non-stop. The only way to do this is if we are passionate as game developers. In order to make legendary experience, we have to be passionate. So we are passionate people who are creating, delivering legendary online game experiences to our very, very passionate players. So that's it. Whatever we do in the future lies within this phrase, and we don't do anything else. So let me tell this one more. We deliver legendary online games globally with passion. So the next 15, 20, 50, 100 years are going to be much, much more exciting than what we had before. I'm pretty much done, so let me please do one little drill with you. Wargaming.net, and we say, let's battle, right? But tonight, we're not going to battle. Tonight, we are going to party. So please, 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 at 1, 2, 3, I'm asking all of you to shout as loudly as you can. Let's party. I will say happy birthday, and then 1, 2, 3, and we do it. Ready? Yeah. Happy anniversary. No. Happy anniversary, Wargaming. 1, 2, 3. Let's party! Thank you.
Please don't forget to take some warm cloth with you to the party, because it's open space and it's windy.
So, okay, looks like we're ready for questions and answers. There are 2 microphones. Those of you who have some questions in their minds, please come closer and shoot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want your questions.
Yeah. Microphones are all there, like in the middle of the rows.
Okay, that's what I expected to have a microphone with a seat. So my name is Christoph from Games Industry in Germany. Hi. One question regarding the monetization of World of Tanks. Especially, you announced that you want to soften that again, so that anybody can't pay to win. Do you already feel some financial impact on this initiative?
Let me please get this. Yes, we came up with free-to-play concept. We were one of the pioneers of cool free-to-play AAA for the West. Right now, everyone is moving free-to-play, right? So it's already a crowded space. So, but Wargaming does not sit on its success. We keep developing and evolving free-to-play. That's why, yes, this year we came with free-to-win. And it's not just, your marketing, blah, blah, blah. We kind of stand behind with practical aspects. Well, first of all, golden bullets and stuff in World of Tanks, those little consumables which you could only purchase for real money, that's your typical free-to-play, we allow to get them for credits, which you can get by playing the game. So, from now on, World of Tanks is 100% game art skills. In your typical random battles, not many people, very few people use golden bullets, so it doesn't matter. When it comes to, I don't know, championships, competitions, now, let's say a schoolboy who does not pay money in principle and me are at the very same level. Yes, he will have to play a little more than me, because I don't have much time he does, but he will use, if he wants, the same couple of golden bullets as I. So World of Tanks from now on is a pure game of skills, and yeah, some people started to pay less money or just stopped paying money because they don't have to. However, the news were, the image is very positive. So now nobody can complain. I think in the long run, in the strategic run, this will bring us, ironically, more finance proceedings than the old days.
Another question to the update.
And more audience, more people, better image. So it's all for the good. It's all very transparent and fair.
Okay, I see. Then another question, if you allow that, to the updates for World of Tanks. You have a lot of updates. You did a lot of artillery updates, for example, in the last weeks and months. Do you think also of new ways to update and enhance the game, like new game modes in the future, or what do you plan in that case?
These kinds of games, like World of Tanks, are here to stay for 5, 7, 10 years. This is obvious. And we will be updating it like non-stop. And yes, we have a hundreds of item bullet lists of what to do. It just, right now we spent, let's say, the last 10 months consolidating the technology. Of course people want, and we will eventually, give new gameplay modes, we will improve physics, we'll constantly keep improving graphics and connectivity. All those things are constantly being developed. And there's going to be historical battles, there are going to be special features for esports, for Asian markets, for example, like China and Korea. There's going to be special internet cafe functionality. So this list is endless. We'll just keep making it. So right now, I probably will not tell you like 3 things we will definitely do. There's a list, and our community managers are conveying this to our players, and there's always a discussion. Yes, it's difficult. Can you imagine the amount of code World of Tanks now has, and the amount of assets we have? So of course changes come not easily. That's the major reason why we opened our presence in Austin studio. There, the smartest of the smartest engineers will be consolidating the platform in order to enable World of Tanks team and other games teams to do updates faster.
Mm-hmm. My last question.
Sorry, if I may add, as you know, the funny situation is that as there are a lot of players who ask for more changes, for more content, there is a huge audience that requires us to stop producing new maps because they don't have enough time, to dig into that or to learn it and so on and so on. So yeah, clearly Victor mentioned the main priority.
The target is once per month, or sometimes in 2 months. So the amount of updates we have already made is, equals to 3-4 World of Tanks 3 years ago. So we are working on that, and we are one of the best on the planet in doing this. Of course, when you have 65 million people, their wish list is kind of big.
Huge, yeah. My last question would be, I'm not 100% clear about what your plans are with World of Warplanes, World of Warships, and World of Tanks when it comes to the clan wars. Are these 3 products still planned for being parts of the clan wars, or don't you plan that like this anymore?
Well, first of all, we have to launch World of Warplanes and see how it goes, right? Second of all, Clan Wars for Tanks went through big transformation. Now we have seasons, because before that there was like one big alliance taking all of the map after a year or 2. Right now we have seasons, and the dynamic rules, everything is changing, and it's much more exciting to play Clan Wars now. And yes, our strategic plan is when World of Warplanes and then World of Warships are released to combine the clan activity on one unified single map. Right now, they're not enough. I cannot give you exact details because it's in works, it's in conceptual and prototyping kind of thing. But my idea, which I'm pushing, is this. You have a battle for, let's say, Moscow. But before that happens with tanks, my clan, or my ally, or my friendly clan, has to fight dogfight battle with planes. If my ally wins, then for the upcoming tank battle, I get, let's say, extra 2 airstrikes, or some heavy bombing in this area, or maybe some recon. So we'll come up with some perks like this. Warships, obviously, they can give you barrage, artillery barrage, when the battle is happening in the coastal territory, and strategically, they control the trade routes, so clans will not be able to transfer their troops across water if this channel is controlled by enemy ships. But there's one exciting thing. So there's going to be more unification between 3 projects. Well, I've already mentioned many times in the past, you have one single account for all 3 games. So it's like your access to tanks, ships, and planes. You have your friends list, your achievements, your esports achievements, they're all in one place, and then security features and social communication features. Well, that's understandable. Your gold is your gold, you can use like your golden coins for any of 3 games. That's easy, that's your money. What's more exciting is that experience points, free experience points, which you get in tanks, you will be able to transfer and use in planes and then in warships. Like myself, I have, I don't know, 120 tanks already, so probably instead of getting tank number 121 after 3 years, I will save experience points and I will transfer them to warplanes so that I don't have to, so that I can get top level planes, much faster. But there's one even more exciting thing. One of our major monetization points is premium account. So it's $10 range price for 1 month, and when you have it, you get 50% more XP and credits from each battle, right? That's how busy working men can save time in World of Tanks, just for 2 movie ticket price. It's $10 for World of Tanks. Can you please guess what discount we are giving for a premium account for World of Warplanes if you own?
No idea.
Your guess. That's it. So the answer is like zero, not discount. The price is zero. So we moved even further with this, free kind of thing. The biggest investment, and this is true, the biggest investment our players are making, let's be honest about it, is their time and devotion, right? And their passion. So we don't want, we are not going to monetize you with like 50% discount, but still charging. So one premium account, which works automatically for 2 games, and when World of Warships comes out, for all 3 games. So we will not be charging for a premium account for World of Warplanes. One premium account for all 3 games, and if we release similar games in the future, that will be the rule as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, just to make a long story short, Clan Wars are some sort of high-end of World of Tanks and all other titles as well. As esports is a kind of high-end for some pro players, so we'll definitely develop some Clan Wars for each of our title. And if one day we could see the way on how we could combine, like Victor explained, all 3 games into one Clan Wars, that would be great for everyone.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Right, please. Go.
Oh, sorry. My question is for Victor. I was just wondering if you could speak a little to the unique challenges that you faced running a business in Belarus and now that's expanded internationally. And there's quite a difference in government politics and what you've run into running this business here as opposed to elsewhere.
Thank you. Yeah, we originated here in the city of Minsk, but it's not a Belarusian company anymore. It's a transcontinental, 16 office conglomerate. We have our production, we have more people outside of Minsk than inside Minsk. Historically, yes, this happens here. We love this country. You probably had a chance to see Minsk and to see nature, to see the museum, and tonight we're going to party. So what's not to love about this country? And when it comes, I understand your kind of angle. The thing is that in this country, government, some like 10 years ago, made very wise move. They created this techno park. It's like business incubator for IT companies. So if you qualify, you submit like your business plans. If you qualify, you have substantial tax breaks, and you have totally transparent and clean and comfortable business environment. So Belarus is home not only to Wargaming, but to, let's say, one of the biggest European software giant called EPAM Systems. They recently hit New York Stock Exchange. So in this city and in this country, IT technology is huge. Why? Because traditionally, the Soviet Union here we had like military production, electronic production. We still have it, right? And we have a lot of institutions which release dozens and thousands per year. Engineers, chemists, physicists, mathematicians. So this is very strong in here. So we have great pool of talent in this country and this city. So it was a good move from the government, and they keep their word, and we're all flourishing in these fantastic circumstances.
And what was the name of that incubator you mentioned?
In Russian it sounds PVT, PVT. But in English it's like, high technology park.
All right, thank you.
Next question, please.
Hello, my name is Jan Rush from Thanou. How are you? Guys, your way of operation, your modus operandi is pretty much tank-like, and as a company. So you rush to your points of destination rapidly on the frontier edge of the attacking force, and disregarding of circumstances and maybe dangers. And from our point of view, it seems like you have performed everything very simple, you know, without any problems, and so on. So, but we understand, of course, that for you being this attacking force is connected with a huge amount of difficulties, dangers, competition, and so on. So please, could you tell us a few words about competition at the end, or at the beginning of, for example, World of Tanks, when nobody believed that the game about tanks, when you can't ride over the living people, can be successful. And today, when you have many copies starting to appear in the market about your gameplay style. So can you tell us a little bit about this competition there and today?
It's a very short question. Competition exists anywhere, everywhere. When World of Tanks was released, there were no big tank MMO games. By the way, there were two games, and this is a good explanation of my point. Blitz 1941 and Tank Ace. Those are both Korean MMO games with tanks. So we cannot, destroy competition physically or wish and it disappears. It always will be, and it always will be, growing, and that's why we realized that you can have lawsuits, you have trademarks and copyright. Of course, we have lawyers, and they are doing this every day if needs to be, because copycatting is not legal in certain territories. But that doesn't matter. The phrase which I told you, we deliver legendary online games globally with passion, we have to do this. The biggest investment of our players is their time. So it's like you. There's a not very good film, and this is Avatar 2, which is legendary, because it's James Cameron, and there's $500 million budget, and this and that. Probably you have only a short amount of time, so you will spend your 2 hours probably watching Avatar 2, rather than not very quality movie. That's the approach. We're not just free to play, and free means cheap. No, and that's actually one of the key success for Wargaming, we combined AAA production values with free-to-play, and now we call it free-to-win, with all those changes I mentioned. You combine those two, that's how you win the hearts of your players. So there were 2 tank MMOs before World of Tanks. So what? There is a game called, let's say, Navy Field and Navy Field 2, which obviously is a competition for World of Warships, but the game is free, both games are free, so our players will decide which one to download, and after downloading, if they download both, and then they will decide, not us, whether to continue playing, and after that certain percentage will decide, okay, I'm okay with spending a little bit of money to save some time, and they will monetize. This is very transparent business. Nothing can be concealed. You cannot push your disc box through Christmas sales with 100 million marketing budget. You cannot deceive and fool your players, dozens of millions, and hopefully hundreds of millions of those. So your game has to be cool, looking, interesting, beautiful, legendary. It has to be free to play. It has to be perfect from all aspects. And it has to have this service around it, the word deliver. Only in this case, we will be ahead of any competition, like forever. And how do we do that? This phrase, we deliver legendary online games globally with passion. We have to be legendary. We have to be legendary producers. We have to be legendary businessmen, accountants, artists, programmers. So if we keep to these company values in our 16 offices around the world, then nothing stops us. Then the games and experiences we create around them will be light years ahead of any competition. And now again, we also have a critical mass. What I mentioned just before, 1 premium account, 3 games, mobile versions, and Xbox versions, and the cultural kind of thing around our tanks and planes and ships. This all creates this critical mass, which will which will obviously be more favorable in the eyes of our players, new and existing, So that's it. Just we have to make sure that our experience and our games and our experience, which we deliver, is best of the best. That's it. That's the only way.
So may I add that from my point of view, I'm trying to defend this point of view actually when we meet with each other in a smaller group, and I'm always telling that there's a good thing about competition, and it's really cool that we're getting stronger competitors with every month, because it makes us much stronger. It forces us to deliver better user experience, better quality games to our players, and it's great. And we actually try to behave really nicely with our competitors, and we respect them. And well, I think this is the only way that the leader company could treat their competitors, right?
Thank you.
Next question, please.
Can you please, just one more phrase?
I will add some comment to you. For example, if you take World of Warplanes and competition with World of Warplanes from other titles, so the situation which we had 1 year ago with our render staff or control staff or flight model staff forced us to make our game better, much better. So honestly, competition is great because they keep you in a good shape, in good form. So, you know, people like competition, and if you are into competition process, you will move forward faster. So that's the answer.
Dennis de Bruin, GameKings. World of Tanks coming to Xbox. I'm very happy about that. Can you tell us more about the collaboration with Microsoft? Did they came to you or otherwise? And why only Microsoft?
This is how it happened. You know, the previous 15 years of our work in the gaming industry gave us a lot of connections, you know, in the gaming industry. It's a small industry. You go to GDC, E3, and you know pretty much everyone. We were pitching to various companies, including Microsoft games, of course. Our previous projects, like World of War and Mass Assault, some time in the past. And it just so happened that with some of Microsoft guys, we happened to be, you know, good friends, or at least knew each other for a long time. And there was no one day where they sent us email or we sent them email. It was some casual discussion, and it probably doesn't matter now. Somebody threw an idea, hey, what about World of Tanks for Xbox now? Because you can obviously see the success of PC version of it, and the overall obvious transformation of console world, and not only console, but any entertainment, especially interactive, being digital and free-to-play, winning the hearts of Western consumers. So it just came in naturally. So the question was not whether or not to combine Xbox and World of Tanks. The question was, the answer is yes, you have to. And it's a good idea. So it's going to be a great product for North American market, for the UK, for France, for Spain. You know, the question was that will we be able, and this is key, to put together one combined team which consists from our specialists and their specialists. Yes, Microsoft is one of the biggest companies of all times, and yes, it's quite structured, and yes, they have processes, and, you know, they make good money with what they have. That's a great company, which changed our world starting from the 80s, right? And the way we work and live in this world is in many respects influenced by Microsoft, you know, Word, Windows, and all those things. You know what? I think that the passion we have and the professionalism our guys have and the professionalism of Microsoft people just made it happen. Yes, there were challenges, and you can make a bullet points list of those challenges of, let's say, technical and administrative manner. But we realized, both Microsoft games and us, that this is the way to go. If we don't overcome those challenges, then we would stall. So, teamwork, respect. We respect Microsoft, and they obviously respect us as well. We just work as a team, and it's going to be a good example of how free-to-play comes to the console. It's just a lot of hard work, not only technical, but also teamwork.
And why only Microsoft? and not other parties like Sony or Nintendo.
As I mentioned, we had known Microsoft, it just so happened historically that we had known Microsoft people before, and again, as I mentioned, we realized that the key to that, not technology or chip or whatever is inside the box, right? But that human factor, teamwork. With Microsoft, it was halfway there, and it worked out. Traditionally in the gaming industry, it's not so unusual that there's certain exclusivity for one of major consoles. That happens. It's not only World of Tanks. So this works well for us, and obviously Microsoft will be pushing, in a good sense, World of Tanks for the Xbox through its 47 million Xbox Live community and like.
So yesterday I've spent a day with the special forces of the Republic of Belarus, and it was a lot of shooting and blasts around it. So could you please repeat the last question, because I'm not sure that I got it. Sorry, because of my ears. Yeah. Please repeat it. Okay, Victor just told me that you're asking, like, in 8.0 we have a huge update like physics, and what are the big things we are expecting or we are going to deliver to the world? That's a very nice question, and actually internally this is a secret, top secret information. That internally we have a rule, like every 6 months we have to, at least every 6 months we have to deliver something like physics to our players, something that is really, really exciting and important for them. So last few updates we were pretty focused on adding or switching to new graphics. So as I mentioned earlier, we did pretty good job, and it includes everything like landscapes, water, sunlight, and so on and so on. So now we are working hard, and we almost there, almost about to deliver the esports features. So so please wait for an official announcement and all the videos and all the explanations. So I'm not going to go deep into that, but esports is going to be a natural part of the life of the random players, usual players. And after that, we will definitely change the, let's say, sound picture of the game, or sound picture, let's say sound atmosphere of the game. We are working, we completely rewrote this part of the game. We are working on a new chat system and many other technical things that will help us to improve the game in the future. Because before we could release something significant on the top, we have to build the basement. So I could say that in autumn time and winter time, we're gonna show you something really cool, as big as physics. Just wait.
The next question is, can it have an exchange system? Because sometimes this has only an event system. We cannot buy it.
Exchange system.
About tanks can buy from other people.
You mean something like auction or?
You mean buying and selling tanks between people?
Yes.
This is very typical for, let's say, fantasy MMOs. We deliberately, this is our strong position. World of Tanks is about killing each other in tanks, getting tanks and killing each other in tanks. As soon as you introduce this trait, you just end up with cheating, fraud, and gold miners, and that's going to be a mayhem. So this is our position. Of course, some people may complain about that, but this is a game about playing tanks, not earning money, not selling your tanks. This is not work. This is pleasure. So we are not going to change this position.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions, so guys, go ahead. Right microphone.
Hey guys, I believe you know me. For 15 years, you've been making games about war. You're wargaming, for God's sake. The last 3 years, the most, I don't know, successful games of yours, they're focused on war missions. It's tanks, it's planes, it's battleships. Let's make it robots, let's make it, I don't know, dragons.
Helicopters.
Helicopters, okay, fine. What you're going to do where there's going to be none? Will you, I don't know, like operate your current games like Valve did with Steam? And so I'm going to wait for Half-Life 3 for the rest of my days? Or are you going to do like, screw you guys, I'm going to Zynga like Don Magic? Or is there any tiny chance of you making a huge, great, gorgeous game for maybe single player, for a new console, for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? Thank you.
Well, right now, our hands are really full with what we have announced. You know, growing from 60 people to 2,000 people. It's not just because I like hiring people and paying salaries. No, this is a necessity. The bullet point lists of what people want in tanks, and the same bullet list will be immediately available to us by players for when planes come out and warships come out. You just need resources. This is a legendary scale game, right? And it's more difficult to update it because the code base is huge. So right now, the plans, we announced them. So nothing prevents us from making something different a year from now or 2 years from now. As long as our organization stays organized, passionate, loving games and working as a team, we will be able to do pretty much anything. Just right now, the plans for the next year and a half, 2 years are very clear and obvious for that. So, but then there's Chris Taylor in Seattle brewing something, like, working on something. There is too early to talk. We even don't know ourselves, but it's still, prototyping, throwing ideas in, throwing out. But there's going to be, one big new game, which even I don't know, out of Chris Taylor's team in Seattle.
Next question, please.
As an answer to that, maybe you could make a War of Peacetime, where you go around just hugging everybody and being nice to one another. Is it killing? That could just be a possibility. My question was, you started this all off by talking about all your previous games and the success they had up to World of Tanks, and World of Tanks obviously has been a huge success. As a team, as a company, what are the challenges for you guys to not get too full of yourselves with the success you have currently? And how do you keep thinking about your next projects in terms of we have to do this success all over again instead of just relying on the success we've already built up with World of Tanks? Like how hard is it for you guys to come in each new game and think of ways to reinvent yourselves? Instead of just working off about what success you've had now, and the danger of that being that you don't try hard enough for your next project, and that you maybe almost get lazy because of how successful you are currently, instead of just in the future.
May I? First of all, we invite inside Wargaming only legendary people, right? So it's all about people. People make what we make, right? So we have to have the right people. Right now, I think we are in a position to become a little more selective when it comes to new hires. And if we, let's say, acquire a company somewhere, again, there's only some kind of, it has to be something legendary about this company or this place or these people for them to join us. And for that, we obviously have certain financial kind of capabilities. Well, it's about sticking to mission and vision. The word legendary, which I explained to you, literally dictates the following procedure about anything. I'll give you a very simple example. An artist submits a tank, and this tank is not cool. Like it uses too many polygons, or is not shiny enough, or is not historically accurate. So this tank will not be approved inside, because this is not legendary tank. So we believe that if our legendary team will be sticking to making legendary textures, legendary code, legendary delivery process, legendary server maintenance, legendary support. We will just be ending up with legendary gaming concepts. We will just end up delivering cool games. We're not saying that we're going to be copycatting ourselves. This is something we should be afraid of. Plus, competition also is there, so we're not foolish to keep doing the same thing. We understand market is evolving, players want more, players want different things. That's why now we have quite a bit of experimenting inside. Look, from one project 3 years ago, we jumped to something around 10 projects going on inside the company. And yes, this is show business. Sometimes something you do is not good enough. Players, it's cool, but it's beautiful. I hope our concepts are all cool. But before the game sees the world, alpha testing, friends and family testing, then closed beta. So there's a lot of, unlike boxed games, MMOs allow you to do this testing and this business intelligence analysis of players' behavior to see if this new idea is worth it. So yes, we have legendary people and legendary kind of structure. We're working on that. It's never 100%. We are working hard to get that legendary component in everything we do. So we will be just testing our ideas. And yes, some ideas will not leave. Some ideas will just go to the trash bin. That's how we ensure that only legendary games come out of us. Thank you.
Okay, two last questions, and that's it.
My name is Konstantin from GameWorld Navigator magazine. Mr. Kislyi, if it's not a secret, could you tell us what nickname used Chris Taylor in World of Tanks?
Nickname of Chris Taylor? Unfortunately, I don't know because he plays on American cluster and I play on Russian.
Thank you very much.
I can answer you almost the
same guy. Where is Chris?
There are a lot of famous people playing this game. Of course, they use some strange names you would never guess. So I asked Andrew one day to give me the list of famous people who are playing. You can get their names from billing address, with no building numbers. And then when I saw the first part of the list, I said, oh, this is going way too up high. So stop it. Let's just them play. Let's not. If you don't know who this guy is, you'll have better sleep. So
we're not disclosing the personal information.
Will Chris attend to the party?
Can you say that again?
Will Chris attend to?
Oh, Chris Taylor, of course. Yes.
Ah, we will ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, he will be at the. Chris Taylor will be at the party, of course.
Yes, we have a plan with him.
He will be happy to talk to you, I guarantee.
And the last question is?
Yes, hello, my name is Andrzej, I'm from Gocha.ru. I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you very much for you making the greatest game. You have a greatest PR and marketing team, and just a cool team. Thank you very much. Do it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're done with the press conference. As you will be leaving at the entrance, you